சிவாஜி கணேசன். அதாவது he was a jewel in the Tamil film industry. There can't be no two opinions about it. If you really analyze what he had done to Tamil and to films, South Indian films, the contribution is fabulous. I wish not only the people of the generation, the present generation also look in detail at the nuances done by Shivaji Ganesan. 1952, Diwali Day, Parashakti was released in a theatre called Paragon. And I was one of the first fans sitting in the first show and watching Shivaji Ganesan. Believe me, till such time he came into Parashakti and Parashakti was viewed by us. Nobody knew that acting can be like that. Before Shivaji, if you take, it was Tyagaraja Bhavadar, T.R. Mahalingam, P.U. Chinnappa, who sang beautifully, and people came rushing to the theatres to hear their singing. But they were not much of an actors. I mean, they didn't know the nuances of acting, I put it that way. They were in the early stages of Tamil cinema. But this, I don't know whether I should say this man or this boy, because he was around 24 years old. When he came on the screen was bubbling with youth, energy, new things which we have unheard of, unseen. Comedy, dancing, fierce reactions to things. But we should not forget one thing there. Shivaji came in the year 1952. 1952, when he came to films, people were accustomed to only stage plays. People were accustomed to only exaggerated acting on stage. And people were accustomed to only stage stories. And people were watching only dramas. So to satisfy them, you have to bring in certain amount of Shakespearean acting. That is good. I was amazed when Shivaji once told me that when Parashakti was released and he skyrocketed into fame, he was working in 5 different schedules per day. I said, how is it possible? Morning 7:30 we will start, go up to 10:30. From 10:30 to 2 o'clock we will do another film. I will have an hour's lunch, keep quiet. By 3:30 we start, 6:30, 7. 7:30 I go to another company and do up to 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock and 10 to morning 2 o'clock. Doing 5 schedules per day and then showing success in every schedule, in every character he does. It's an amazing thing. I don't know, people should know about it. We can always say, Hollywood stars are brilliant. I am also a great Hollywood fan. But look at this man, how he has delivered to the Tamil audience. I think every sinew in his body has been, strained only for Tamil audience. And I wish they are thankful to him. Navaratri as doctor, இது மாதிரி ஒரு வாக் சார், நீங்கள் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரு 100 டிஃப்ரெண்ட் வாக்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காரு படத்தில், இந்த 350 ஃபிலிம்ஸ். எப்படிடான்னு கேட்டால் நான் கணக்கே சொன்னேன், நவராத்திரிலேயே 9 எடுத்து. ஸோ தெய்வ மகனில் 3 ஆயிடுத்து, 9 போகணும், 12 அங்கேயே ஓடி போய் சார், ஏன்னா இதெல்லாம் கணக்கெடுத்துக்கிறேன்னார். அப்புறம் நான் சொன்னேன், என்னுடைய ஃபேவரட் வாக் நவராத்திரியில் நீங்கள் டாக்டர் வாக்கு, ஐ லவ் டேட் அப்படின்னா. கேட்டேன் எனக்கு ஒரு சந்தேகம் சார், என்னன்னா சாவித்திரி ஃப்ரேம் அவுட்டு போயாச்சு, நர்சஸும் போயாச்சு, எதுக்கு திருப்பி ஸ்டெத்தோஸ்கோப் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னு கேட்டேன். நீ நோட்டீஸ் பண்ணணும்னா வந்து இதெல்லாம் தான் நுவான்சஸ் இன் ஹிம் விச் கெனாட் பி, யாருமே சொல்ல முடியாது. அதை நான் திரும்பி அந்த வாக் பண்ணதான் தான் நீங்கள் எல்லோரும் சொல்கிறேன், இல்லைன்னா அவளோட மொத்தமாக போயிருக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி சொல்கிறாங்க. சம் நுவான்சஸ் ஹேவ் டு பி மென்ஷன். I don't think in a debut film, any artist would have done the ranges that he achieved. Brilliant dialogue delivery in Tamil, chaste Tamil, beautifully rendered. It was musical to our ears, I put it that way. dancing, taking revenge on people, anger, and everything, you name it. Navarasangal Solvala, everything was there. Everything was there. And the audience were spellbound and stuck to their chairs. I still remember during the interval, it took about 3-4 minutes for audience to come back to normalcy and get out for their Coca-Cola, whatever it is. What a great comedy sense. And it was proved years later when Shivaji did Sabash Meena, Kalyanamani Brahmachari, Galata Kalyanam, all those things. It was brilliant, the comedy. If you watch Shivaji, you know how he succeeded in comedy. But what I found in Shivaji a little different from everybody is, he was able to lower his image to the pair comedian. Whether it was T.R. Ramchandran in Kalyanamani Brahmachari or Sabash Meena Chandrababu or Nagesh in Galata Kalyanam. That's where Shivaji was scoring in every film. Once we know, I found that man was a very genuine, innocent man. And I learnt a lot from him. Because the nuances in film acting is not that simple. Anybody can go vomit their dialogues and come back. I'll just quote an incident where I was awakened by Shivaji Ganesan. We were doing a film called Patagati Meda. We were shooting in Annapurna Studios, Hyderabad. Afternoon we were having lunch. I was sitting next to Shivaji. Major Sundararajan was serving. He loved it. And he about to put the onion in Shivaji's plate. Shivaji said, I don't want it. I was very surprised. This man won't take onion also. So very casually I asked him, sir, you exclude onion or what? He looked at me like this. No reply. Just kept quiet. Afternoon, I had no shooting. I was sitting in the lawns, having my tea. This man was performing inside. It was a double role for him. One is a husband of Saukar Janaki, other is son of Saukar. Saukar's character dies on his lap. And he is ranting for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Heavy dialogues. He came, 5:30 he came, sat next to me. Just took time for him to relax. Turned to me and asked me, now you understand? I said, what do you understand? I couldn't connect this question. I said, sir, what is it that I understand? You asked me a question during lunch? Oh yes. What is the answer, sir? You see, I am delivering the dialogue for 10 minutes and Saukar Janaki is expected to be a dead body on my lap. How long can an artist bear the smell of onion from a co-artist? So I avoided it during lunch. I said, my God, this is what I should learn in acting. It is not just delivery of dialogues. When the camera comes close to you, there is nobody acting today. Because they say you don't want to act. Whenever you do something, they say, why? Why are you stressing on this line? Forget it. It was like that. So, like that, Shivaji became a great friend of ours. Our good friend, philosopher, guide as far as I am concerned. And he gave all the inputs as far as acting is concerned. And some delicious incidents in his acting career and some historical archives, I should say, presented before me. For example, another small thing I'll say about Shivaji. One day I was sitting with him and saying, sir, you did a fabulous job in Uttamaputra. The second role cannot be forgotten by anybody. He turned to me and said, 1942, Chinnapande did it without any technology. The man was able to appreciate and announce the fact that there was somebody who had done that role. Right? How many people will do it today? Yes. Another strip he went saying, there was an actor called Samanna, right, who did a stage play called Dambachari. in 1934 and he did 11 roles there. I said, what are we? I was really amazed. I believe Shamanna did those 11 roles, 6 of it will be with different languages. And he'll be changing the makeup on the stage for those 11 roles just like that. 1934. He said, what we are achieving are all built upon those edifices. That is the greatness of Shivaji. I fully capitalized. I had done just about 7-8 films with him. பெருசாக ஒரு ரேஞ்சு கிடையாது. ஆனால் அவ்வளோ படத்துலையும் லக்கிலி எனக்கு வந்து காம்பினேஷன் சீன் மெயின்லி வித் சிவாஜி. ஸோ ஐ யூஸ் டு ஆஸ்க் ஹிம் எனி நம்பர் ஆஃப் கொஸ்டின்ஸ். இந்த வே ஹி ஆன்சர்ட் ஐ வாஸ் ஸ்டூபிஃபைட். அதாவது people can be so magnanimous, so friendly, so humble to answer certain things. I saw it only in fact. 2-3 incidents சொல்றேன் உங்களுக்கு. It's a very interesting incident. We will see. You will understand the true nature of Shivaji Ganesan. அதுக்காக சொல்றேன். Shivaji sir வீட்லயே we were shooting for a film. The co-artists were, I was also shooting there. Shivaji Ganesan was there, Saukar Janaki was there, Major Sundarajan, Jai Ganesh, all of us were there. Up I was working in a company. I think it was Philips or later Speedway, I don't remember the year. Up I took leave for 2 days because the director said, I want your call sheet for 2 days. It was a combination scene. I said, okay. 2 days they shot very well, but the scene became very big. The length was getting bigger and bigger with the shots. And then at the end of the day, the director came to me and said, ARS, can you give me 2 more days of call sheet? Next day was my board meeting. So I told him, I'm very sorry sir, I won't be able to do it. The director was basically quite annoyed, I could see, naturally. With such big artists giving their dates and my date not being available. And he said, what is this sir, if you say like this, what can we do? You know how much of money we have put in production, the usual things. So I was looking a blank because I was scared. When Shivaji has given a call sheet, I am not able to give, which is atrocious. The great man was sitting in the corner. It was in his house only, so he was comfortable in his own chair and looking at us, just looking at from a distance. Then he said, called the director and said, come here, what's the problem? He said, the ARS is not able to give call sheet. You got his call sheet for tomorrow? He said, no, only today I want. He said, then you booked him. I also told you. He is working in a company at a higher level, right? He can't just take holidays like the professional artists. Knowing that only we booked him, right? He didn't say, I'll come all the days whenever you want. That was not the understanding. So please tell him, let him not bother. Next Friday and Saturday, is he free? Check up with him. If he is free, I am there, don't worry. And I will ask Saukar or Major and others to do it. I was virtually in tears. I said, how can anybody be so magnanimous? So, like this number of incidents, I got to, I was really flabbergasted by Shivaji's approach. One was his ability to dub. He is an amazing dubbing artist. Amazing dubbing artist. Dubbing is an art by itself. Dubbing is an art by itself. For the simple reason, without the atmosphere, without the co-artist, you have to bring back all the emotions back on the screen. Right? Acting is fairly easy compared to dubbing. And I knew he was a fairly methodical dubbing artist. He can do things. But what amazed me was we were doing a film called Mohanapunai. That was Sridhar's film. I was called for dubbing on a Saturday. And then suddenly around 7 o'clock or 7:30 in the morning, the production manager rang me up and said, sir, your dubbing is not there for today. I said, what for? Why? What happened? He said, Shivaji sir is leaving for US tomorrow early morning flight. So we want to finish. We have started at 7:30. Maybe it will go up to 12 o'clock in the night. We don't know. So you need not bother today. I said, okay. I took it easy. Around 2:30 I got a call again. They said, sir, you can come. Your dubbing is free. I said, what do you mean my dubbing is free? What happened to Shivaji Ganeshan's dubbing? He said, I finished the entire film. From 7:30 to 3:30 he finished the entire film? I said, yes. He was the hero in this film. So maximum dialogues are for him only. And he finished it by 3:30. He said, I will take it easy in the evening and go tomorrow morning. And on top of it, I rushed to the studio. He was sitting there. He has taken off his shirt, sitting with his banyan on. So the director said, DRS, can we start dubbing? I said, yes, we can start dubbing, but this gentleman is sitting here. I don't want to really get into bad books of Mr. Shivaji Ganeshan, because he knew we are all theatre artists. So it's very particular about dialogue delivery and timing. So he was sitting there. I went to him and said, sir, Godspeed. I believe tomorrow morning you are leaving for US. Great, sir, you have finished your dubbing. So probably after you leave, I will start my dubbing. He said, why after we leave? I will wait here, you do the dubbing. I said, sir, go ahead and do the dubbing, let me see. Those days there was loop system, right? If you make one mistake, you have to come back from the start. Luckily, the first scene, which was presented before him, I did the dubbing in one take. He got up, patted me on the shoulder, dubbing in Annalana Pandra. That he walked out. So amazing character. And his nuances in film, how he conveyed to people, was something very interesting. One thing I am very certain, no actor in this world would have done so many different types of walking like what Shivaji Ganeshan did. I have made note of it. It must be nearly 100 to 120 different types of walking in films. The varieties on the yaradhu panna mudiyumonu enakku theriyala. Performer is not enough if he performs very well also, but the audience, it should reach the audience. Then only it becomes palatable to the audience. They enjoy the nuances. Otherwise it gets lost. If it's a long shot and just like that he walks away and the whole thing goes haywire. That is his nuances. There was an advertisement by Modern Theatres for a film called Tirubipar, and Shivaji did the villain's role there. The advertisement in Hindu read like this. This movie has got melodious songs, a brilliant moral, all-round good acting, plus Shivaji Ganeshan. And then he said he is an actor, bless him, and a great one. I cannot forget that advertisement, because the plus Shivaji Ganeshan enga poradhu parunga ranking la. The whole film is being shouldered by him. He elevates it, and the producer director acknowledges the fact. So amazing. After watching Shivaji Ganeshan in close quarters and also his films, he has done about 300 odd films, out of which 200 will be an education for any upcoming artist, any artist. It's a pity, I am really worried about it. The present generation, they do not seem to understand the value of that great man, his contribution to Tamil cinema. Tamil cinema, for these people to start doing all these things today, if you had not built that royal road, they won't be anywhere. They will be still walking in the one-way path. He was the one who paved the road for these people to do things. And to that extent, his contribution, his magnanimity, his range of performances are not being acknowledged by this present generation, which is very wrong. I always maintain, if there is a journalist, the journalist may not know what happened during M.K. Tyagaraja time. Not necessary, he is a youngster. But before he makes a statement, he should go into the archives to study whether what he is saying is true. Similarly, every artist in Tamil Nadu, right? Today if you go to Sri Lanka, if you go to Malaysia, they are swear by Shivaji Ganesan. I am surprised at the present generation of artists. I won't even say artists. When I look at the social media, lot of barbs are thrown at him, which is totally wrong. Before I finish, I would like to state only one thing, because these barbs are told or thrown at him saying that his is overacting. There is nothing like overacting. If at all you have to overact, you should know acting. Then only you can overact. So probably all of us don't know acting. So we control ourselves and be very comfortable in our own zone. The overacting which they say, the peak that man has reached, I challenge anybody today, try for that. Yes, Kamal Haasan is a great artist, I have nothing against him. But Shivaji had his own fascination for people. I mean, his achievements is something beyond appreciation. It has gone to that level. And I wish everybody watch his films thoroughly. There are so many subtle films which he has done. Take Rajapat Rangadore, take Oyarna Manija, take Motar Sundaram Pillai. Let them see that. See what is, if you want subtle acting, it is there. If you want extra acting, it is here. There is only two things, good acting and bad acting. That's all. There is now no overacting. If you do overacting and if it is good, it is good acting. So I wish all of them make a study of Shivaji Ganesan, who was a legend in his own time, and improve their own selves by watching him. Thank you.